In this morning's Business Insight, a look inside the Greater Cincinnati Venture Association, which has been around for nearly 3 decades, but is taking on greater significance as Cincinnati becomes known as a startup city. Its goal is to connect entrepreneurs and investors through monthly meetings. It has reinvented itself many times over the years, as you would expect from an entrepreneurial organization. The real Bill Cunningham has been with that group since 1991 and now serves on its board of trustees. After starting his career in sales at Apple Computer, he's had 6 startups of his own over his 30-plus year career. Bill joins U.S. Bank's Business Watch's Kelly Leon in the studio.
Thank you, Ryan. I didn't realize you were the real Bill Cunningham, Bill.
Absolutely. But I'm still a good American.
Good. That's good to hear. So we met years ago back at Xavier when you were running the Entrepreneurial Center there. Tell me a little bit about GCVA.
Well, I got involved with the Greater Cincinnati Venture Association back in '91, Kelly. It was, we were a startup called College View, presenting our company to a group of investors at the Netherland Plaza Hotel. And that was my first taste of learning about venture capital, and that was my startup. So it was a fairly robust group, about 100 people that would get together every month, and they would have a keynote speaker and always listen to 1 or 2 companies talk about how they wanted to raise some funding. So that's been kind of our core methodology of bringing entrepreneurs and investors together.
And I know, speaking for me, at the time I met you, not having an understanding of what an entrepreneur was or how it worked. And you have an interesting graphic here that shows kind of all the pieces of the puzzle that come together, because I think what people often think is, I need to have money, an idea, and then do it. But it's all these pieces. Quickly on the universities, support, state government, grassroots initiatives, network, angel funds, incubators, events, and venture capital funds. Now, you don't need all of those pieces to make it happen, but talk to me a little about how those pieces come together to make this work.
Well, this was actually from a presentation from one of the Venture Association meetings that Jack Wyant created back in 2001. And we set out to identify what are all the pieces of the puzzle, and Jack loves puzzles, and so it was a good format for us to use. But there were many different organizations and activities that support the entrepreneurial process. It's not get money, have an idea, and go to market. Everybody looks at the Googles and the Netscapes and all these overnight successes. What you'll find is that they take 8 to 10 years.
Right, yeah.
And it really does take a village to put these things together. So this map of the ecosystem, we've tried to keep track of all the different organizations that have grown up and tried to be a kind of a forum where they can promote their activities, where owners can come and run into what Jeff Timmons from Babson calls entrepreneurs colliding with other entrepreneurs to create more value than they would doing it by themselves.
And if you were to give advice to someone, first off, what is the type of person who is best suited to get into an entrepreneurial investor and an entrepreneurial endeavor? And then what would you say to them in terms of length of time, patience? How long do you give it before you?
Well, to be an entrepreneur, you just never give up. So you give it as long.
So you have to have that personality trait.
You have to have that kind of personality trait. It really depends on the venture. And frankly, what gets a lot of the press is our high technology ventures, and we've had a lot of successful ones. Loop is a small company that took about 5 years to raise their profile and gain significant money from the West Coast. Tim Schigel started Share This after he left Blue Chip, and it has raised millions of dollars, but more importantly is generating millions of dollars of revenue. Those take a much longer time frame. If you're a Taste of Belgium and Jean Sois, it sometimes only takes a couple of years to get your restaurant concept together and raise the money and be successful. So the timelines are different depending on how big you're trying to grow.
Would you say the most important piece of it is having a passion for whatever you're doing? Honestly, I mean,
If you do it for the money, you'll probably end up not getting the money. Most people do this because they truly love their business, they truly love their idea, and it's what gets them up every morning at 5 a.m. and makes them work till midnight to get it done. So that's really what you have to focus on. The money, if you do all those, if you do that, if you have the passion, you do all the right things, and you're open to coaching and accepting help from everybody, the money will follow.
Which is where GCVA comes in. If people do want mentoring, coaching, this is the organization that they should contact?
It is one of the organizations we should contact. We're working very closely with Centrifuge because our missions are so aligned, but we're bringing entrepreneurs in contact with the right folks. And we're so glad that the Cincinnati Business Committee has stepped up and created Centrifuge, because it is a foundation that we can then build on.
Great. So people should visit gcva.com. All the information will be there.
Our next meeting is April 19th. It'll be at noon at the Taft Center at Fountain Square, which
Perfect.
be great to have you there.
All right. Thanks so much, Bill, for being here.